I'm not sure if the group is willing to accept that your internet is not strong enough for the AMA. So I will let the AMA is up to you guys. You guys can decide who's going to do it. That's not really part of the stand-up. So yeah.
Yabebal, is he around today?
Who? Yabebal. He should be around.
Yeah, so that's our choice now, I guess.
No, she nominated Stephanie. But she's here. She's online. I don't know. She says her internet's not good enough. And I think we should have wow. So Mokali, you just got 1 GB of data from Ken. All to get you on the stand-up. Okay, so announcements from our side. Announcements from our side. Okay, so the resource system that we talked about, Oswald has fallen ill, and we don't know exactly when he's coming back. So that's delayed. As soon as we know anything, we'll let you know. We're still keen on doing that as part of the. We wanted to start this a long time ago. It took much longer to get it together than we had expected. So as soon as we have information on Oswald and when he's better, we'll put that back. We'll get that back on. The challenges are due tomorrow, so it's just straight up screenshot of your results. So it's super simple, no reports, very boring, purely focused on the algorithm. Yeah, this is last week that we're going to be doing this after week 7, week 8 and 9 together. So simple screenshots of your rank. Yeah, it should be really straightforward. Weeks 10 and then 11 and 12 are coming up, and they should also be busy. Yeah, looking forward to seeing how that goes. So week 10, our plan is to do a lot of data. And week 11 and 12, we're still in discussion with a couple of different people about how do we get something which is useful and practical and where everyone is working a little bit. It's the same project, but we want to make sure that it's really a start to finish project, a nice example project. 2 weeks is long enough. We have to see if we do it in groups or individually. Maybe we can even do small groups because I think that would be nice. But wanting to do that start to finish, and then week 13, it's to be confirmed, but as we discussed, we do want to spend a week where everyone is online together doing, trying to get onto Upwork or another freelancing platform to see, yeah, just so that we kind of break that barrier from nothing to something. So that's to be announced, but just to summarize, so week 10, week 9 due tomorrow as usual time. I'll make sure the Google Classroom time is set up correctly. Week 10 is going to be looking at a lot of data. Weeks 11 and 12 will be an independent project, and we want to make sure that it's start to finish, but also something that's practically useful. And then week 13 to be determined, to be finalized. Other news, so 11:30 Rwanda time today, I'm going to be doing a discussion on careers. Please do read the article on How Will You Measure Your Life by Christensen. It'll be useful, and so it'll be much more a Q&A session talking about 2-year plans, and then any questions on careers or just a general discussion. So we'll do that on Google Meet. The usual link, which will be this one right here. And for everyone who hasn't, or anyone who hasn't submitted their 2-year plan or their profile sites, it's important. So please do get those through. Finally, so we're looking, some of you may be getting a note from Jean today. So we're just looking at, there's some people who's, in terms of how they're doing, and especially how they've been doing over the last couple of weeks, some people have not been submitting a number of assignments. So Jean's going to be reaching out to a number of people in the coming, if not today, then over the weekend, just to touch base and to see how we're doing and to identify concerns. That's all from my side. Mustafa, anything from your side?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry, the power just comes in the morning and later on it just goes back again. So I'm sorry for that. Okay, so I don't know if we can find a time for me to have a talk with people, but I'm afraid about I'm afraid of the power because it might go back again maybe in some couple of minutes. That's my worry now. Yeah.
So why don't we schedule a time, and if it's possible to join, we do it. Otherwise, we recognize that your power might drop. So then We'll put it onto the calendar today. So Mustafa, maybe you can reach out to Prosper, set a time, ask him to update the calendar, find a time, and then inshallah it works.
Okay, we can do so. We can try to schedule a time. Maybe probably it's gonna be okay, and then I will do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready to be.
Okay, sounds good. Yabebal,
Yeah.
anything to add? I saw you joined.
Yeah, I joined from a coffee place, so it's probably quite noisy.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't heard what was the discussion. I was
No,
hoping.
just if you have any announcements or anything.
No, I think for now, just let me hear, and then later maybe.
Lawal, the career session's in an hour. Yeah, a little bit less than an hour. Yeah, my glasses. I don't know what happened to my glasses. They're missing today. I'm wearing contact lenses. I usually wear contact lenses for the last while. I just haven't. So today I did. Okay, so today's our reflection session. And in terms of the AMA, Wakali claims poor internet. So I will let the group decide. She's very helpfully nominated her colleague Stephanie. I will let the group decide if we let her off. Stephanie's she left to make sure that it's not her. Anyways, Wakali was nominated.
She just ran out.
She pulled a fire alarm and ran out. Let's see if she comes back. But anyways, the group can decide.
That's proof of bad internet. That's proof of bad internet for Stephanie. But now we are still seeing Mikali here, so there is no that we cannot argue against that.
She just posted a speed test. So look, I mean, it's up to you guys. You guys can deal with Mokali as you need to deal with Mokali. Okay, but let's do our reflection, guys. So the AMA is it's an important part of it, but let's do our reflection as well. So we want to see how the week was, what are the good things and the difficult things. And I think especially after the third week of challenges, is this an approach that we want to take? We talked about this last Friday as well, but after 3 weeks of challenges, is this something that we want to continue with for future batches of training? You'll see that over the next couple of weeks, we are getting ready to wrap up and we're planning ahead for next, what we should be doing in next steps. So think about the people who come after you. Give us feedback. Should we be doing this for future batches as well? So who's first?
Can I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're right. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, as usual, nice to be here. So, yesterday in an hurry, I was able to do something about my profile, and I did some stacking of the model, which gave me some improvement, even though it's not that significant. But at least I saw the significance of stacking like vision.
Lawa, they say show your face, so please.
Was like a couple of weeks back. So, and also I was able to. Okay, now, like I'm trying to conserve bandwidth. Bandwidth 30 is quite bad. I'm sorry. So
it's fine. We can hear you.
So
please go ahead.
I was able to catch up with some friends of mine yesterday too. So
well, the audio is very difficult here. It's intermittent. It's going in and out like a sine
like
wave.
I said yesterday, majorly I'm looking forward to Sunday to see what we'll be working on next week. It's going to go back to our challenge mode, availability.
So Lawal, we'll come back to you. It's very difficult to hear you. I can only hear maybe 30% of what you're saying. So we'll go onwards to John Latome.
Good morning.
Morning, John.
Okay. So for this week, I've been doing much on profile. Yeah, I've been focusing a lot on profile. Today I'm planning to work on the 2-year plan. Since I haven't started that, I have no idea how to go about it. Yes, okay. And you had asked if what you have been doing should be implemented in future batches. I think it's okay. We have experienced both on a flow, that a defined flow on what to do and how to tackle how to tackle the task in a given way. And then we have experienced both for the competitions, of which you are not told a thing. You are on your own to do what you think is right. And then on submitting, it evaluates what you have been doing, if it's right or not. So I think it has been a good way of learning. Yes, that's all.
Okay, thank you. Tija Sunimi?
Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Okay. This week has been okay. First of all, been having light challenge, so I have not really been able to be on my laptop. But yesterday, I was able to. So I was able to do a lot, and it's been amazing. Actually, it's been amazing. Like looking at different models. The only frustrating thing is that sometimes you might do so much, and yet you might not even get a very good score. But it's fine, and I've been really learning. So you were asking that can we adopt this for future badges like for like batch 5, batch 4, batch 5, and I'll really say it's awesome. Like you can do that. So I'm looking forward to on Sunday also, so I can know what the new challenge is going to be. Yeah. So this week has been awesome. Thank you so much. Apart from the light issues, every other thing has been very fine. Thank you very much.
Everyone's week 10 challenge is to get Mokali good internet so she can do the AMA on Monday. Kevin?
Hello, can you hear me?
It's a bit faint, but we can hear you. Maybe scream.
No, scream. Okay, for me, yesterday was a good day. I spent the better part of yesterday coding, doing like I have to fix my school project and the like. So working a bit on that. As I said, I was also working on the challenge to see what works and what doesn't work. Mainly trying more feature engineering and taking up the challenge that Yabebal issued yesterday. Yeah, other than that, it's all good. Now, for me, I think for other batches, I know it's a COVID situation, and ideally, I think, or rather, that the interactions between people is better in a class like setting, in a place where we meet together and do the rest. But otherwise, this form is actually good for what we have at the moment, because we can actually talk to each other through videos, and I think that the AMA thing is really good. And I enjoyed yesterday's one, and I'm looking forward to today. So that's something that you could carry on to other batches. But all in all, I think there's a lot to learn from this particular batch 3, and yeah, and pointers for going ahead. Thank you, and have a good day.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Ken? Is Ken here? Can you hear us, Ken? We can't hear you. Okay, we'll move on. Ken, we can't hear you. I don't know if you're able to speak. Gerald?
Morning, everyone. Hope you're well.
Morning.
Yeah, I hope you can hear me today. I forgot to charge my earpiece, so I'm using the laptop microphone.
Sawa.
Okay. So for me this week has been nice. It's been a lot of learning. Sometimes you get stuck, you get frustrated, but you just keep Googling and reaching out to my peers and the tutors. So, and then we try something new. So I really appreciate what has happened the last weeks. The fact that we're on our own. Sometimes you start working on a problem thinking that you've understood it, but somewhere in the middle you have to go back and read it again and try to now internalize it. So I really enjoyed the week. So I'm really grateful for the way the last 2 weeks have been structured. Aside from that, I think the model that Train Academy is currently using is okay, and I'd really recommend that it be done again. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. I mean, so we do plan to do it again. I think there'll be opportunities for much more in-depth feedback coming up. But the question was more along this specific model, the specific challenge or these competition model versus the really structured weekly challenges. Jeanette?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Yesterday I didn't do much on the model, on improving my model. I did I started my 2 years plan, and I will continue with it today. I think I will submit it like today. That's what I hope. I had a question when you said we had the 13th week. I thought the 12th week is the last one. I didn't know we have the
One of the plans, Jeanette, one of the things we're thinking about is to try and work together online, and it's not part of the training, but to think about, do we all log in together and try and create profiles on Upwork and try and earn some actual money as freelancers on Upwork, so that people are not working by themselves, but rather it's an opportunity to start your freelance career with the support of the community. So it wouldn't be a formal training week. I think it would look pretty different, but it should be that. And this idea of getting freelance work is hard to start, but once you get started, we can actually try and make it a little bit fun, where we say, look, can we at least earn $5 in the week to get real work and to start to break that. The first dollar is the hardest to earn in the freelancing market. So that's the working idea. But actually, it'd be good to get everyone's feedback. It's probably not the right time right now, but that's the thinking.
Okay.
But we haven't fully structured that idea.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Binyam.
Good morning, everyone. So, as a general comment, what I want to say is the learning model is amazing. I mean, if you can find the right people to train, it's really. I mean, it seems intense at first, a bit intimidating, but you get used to it in time, and like it lets you push yourself to the limit. And chat. I'm afraid okay, so the model that we have been using for the past 3 weeks, for me at least, it's not as effective as the structured weekly challenge, because there's less supervision. So we're only required to submit a screenshot. That means we can borrow a code from a friend. I'm saying we would do that, but like if we had no choice, we would do that actually. So I would suggest adding some extra measures like submitting the code. I was happy when
we lost you, Binyam.
Relax.
Okay, maybe we come back to Binyam. Binyam, are you there? We lost you.
Yeah, sorry guys. Like I was on mute this whole time. I was talking. I'm sorry.
You said I was happy, and then you went away.
Oh, okay.
Hello? let's move on then. Binyam, we'll come back to you. Let's go to Ada.
Good morning.
Morning.
This week I haven't done so much coding. Right now I'm working on my 2-year plan, and then maybe later I can pick up on Yabebal's challenge of getting a different score from the 0.24. And then concerning the learning model, I think it's good. It's productive. It's productive. The blend of structured challenges and competitions. They all have their ups and downs, but they're productive. And like Kevin said, in the next batches, if Corona will not be an issue, maybe you can implement the physical interaction boxes. So that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Ada. Brian?
Yes, good morning.
Morning, Brian.
So, this week has been kind of difficult for me. I was unwell, but yeah, so I've been more on medication. But I felt better since yesterday. So, yeah, thanks for some friends who checked up on me, Carly, Gerard, Tome, Bessie. Yeah, thanks everybody who checked up on me. Actually, yeah, I'm doing well right now. Yes, and I've been so continued from where I left, and from yesterday I've been checking on my 2-year plan. But I think I'm really looking forward to the session you mentioned, Aaron. Yeah, because I'm having kind of problem on how to go about it, and and I'm still also working on my models. Yeah, I think that's what I have for now.
Okay, thanks, Brian. Stephanie? Stephanie.
Hi everyone. So yesterday I basically just worked on the espresso challenge. I was able to increase my score, and my models performed quite well after doing some feature engineering. I'm also working on my 2-year plan, although I have no idea what to write, but I think with some help from Emmanuel and the rest, I think I'll just know what to write anyway. About the model, I think it's really nice. Just a mixture of the challenges, the structured challenges, and the competition. The competition just exposes you to like real world. Like you get to just think on your own. In contrast to like the structured challenges where you're given the task one by one. So it's really nice. Yeah, thanks.
All right, Patrick? Is Patrick online? He was. Patrick? Ujunda?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So, yesterday I didn't do much of coding during the day as I earlier planned. I had a personal finance training with a CFA holder, which I felt I shouldn't miss, so I postponed my coding tonight. So I was able to do a lot of coding, and I'm currently working on hyperparameter tuning for some boosting models that I used initially. So my grid search is currently running. I plan to work more on that today. On the 2-year plan, I think I'm quite lost on what to write. I started, then I was just lost. But I'm hoping to get some inspiration and motivation on what to put in there today. So basically, that's just all from my side. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Binyam? Binyam, is your connection back?
Oh yeah. So some Bluetooth device kept connecting to my laptop. Sorry. Yeah. So as I was saying, the competition challenge is a good idea. We get a hands-on experience on real-world projects. That's cool. But so I was suggesting a little bit more supervision is needed so that everybody can stay on track. For example, if you see the churn prediction, so I don't think everyone has submitted. I mean, there are around 41 of us, right? So I only see only 30 something submissions, 37. So yeah, I don't know. So I'm suggesting a bit more supervision, like requiring the code and stuff like that, so that everyone engages equally. So that's my comment. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I think we're over to AMA with Yabebal.
So how's the noise level?
It's fine.
Okay.
So, guys, ask away.
Oh, I am 38 for the question, how old am I? And do you want to be famous? I used to think, and I was sure that I would be famous, but then after a while, age means like you have to do it when you are young. And do you think aliens exist? I mean, in thinking, yes, I think it's strange if they don't exist, but there's no evidence, so it's kind of again a science. Are you religious? I'm spiritual, I would say. That means I don't think there's anything clear about what humans are. So I don't really say that we have found out any power that, or humans haven't really found out anything. So in a sense, we are so small that to deny that things don't exist. I mean, as I said, even aliens exist. Even I believe that aliens exist, even if we don't have evidence. So just to deny something more doesn't exist is against that. So I'm kind of like spiritual in that sense. Am I married? Are you married? No, I'm not married. It's one of the things that I have no idea how it's gonna work. Do you have kids? Basically, no kids. What is your YouTube homepage? I have multi views, so I have a few of them for sharing some drone pages, whatever. But it's called multi views. I will post probably just some of the drone that I was planning for deep learning thing. So I will work on that. I will share with you, or just remind me. Why don't you like your coffee very hot? Ah, Arun. I think you're from a tea place, so probably let's say it like coffee shouldn't be that cold, that hot. It has to cool down. It has to be hot, but not too hot. So let's say that I have the authority on coffee. So I'm from Ethiopia, so it's kind of coffee is I have the authority. Let's say. Why do you keep your hair that long? Is really, if you Stephanie, if you really want to know the real answer, beyond anything, I just used to not like to go to the barber shop. So I just got used to not going to the barber shop. So when I go to Ethiopia, like, I don't know, like in the past, once in a year, I would cut it, or once in 2 years. And I think now I left it probably for 1.5 years, or 1 year actually. Patrick, what books do you love the most? Very interesting. I loved the book that I recommended, Thinking Fast and Slow. I loved the book, just personal reason. I loved the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, but a lot more I read mathematics, like books that are written by mathematicians and physicists that actually talks about very certain concepts, like because just usually they give the story of like the historical context of science. I like it. So how do you pronounce that? Yeah, basically Taddese. So it's it's a phonetical language, Amharic, so you can just say it's a three-letter Tadese. Biniam, how many countries have you been to? Have I been to? I'm not sure. I think it's I haven't counted it, but except the Americas, I have been in all other continents, and I lived in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries. I lived, and then about 8 cities. Okay, so what is your greatest fear in life? I think it has been always the just dying without getting into like my deathbed without actually doing anything. That was my really, I would say, the part that concerned me in life most. Why do you keep your hair long? Ada, I answered that one. Is really, I just don't like to go to the barber shop, but now I got used to it. So at first it was just really because of that, and now it just becomes a habit. Just I live it, and I don't do anything. So that just kind of means I have no, it is not work for me, which is great. What's your greatest achievement? It is very hard, because I would say I loved the idea of the first time that I went to a master's. I was a master's student, and I did some software development without knowing anything, and that in 3 days without sleeping at all. That was kind of the precursor for my whatever I have done. But then after that is really, I would say, a lot of the things that I'm doing now, and there is a program I am leading, which is called also Astrobus, traveling and a lot more thinking about like how do you change, how do you understand the situation in Africa, and how can you, what is it that is missing in the African context to economically and military and scientifically that we are slightly different. I don't want to take that one as a say that Africa is far behind, because Africa probably is way forward. Maybe just that we have civilized enough to not civilize, but I don't know. Like I don't want to say order in terms of Europe, whatever, but there is something that is clear, which is scientifically, militarily, and economically with the current metrics, we are far behind, and I want to understand. So it's kind of working on those areas is where I am a lot more, and anything that I'm doing along that line, 10 Academy, as well as also Astrobus Ethiopia is one of the places, or the things that I have done really, I would say I'm very proud of, and I'm happy, even if they are not achievements per se, but the starting was already an achievement for me. If you were to have superpowers, what humankind problem would you solve? I think I don't really, I really think I have superpower. I don't really need it. And I think this is exactly the problem I'm working right now. So I'm kind of arrogant in that sense. I actually think it's the problems I'm working right now are the problems that I wanna die while solving. Just I don't see any other problem that I would be excited. Where do you see AI field, data science in the next 10 years? It's a very, very hard question, because it is slowing down at the moment. And so it could just be like another, like quantum physics. Quantum physics on its own time, it was like this, was supposed to really revolutionize everything. It definitely did revolutionize. We got TVs, we got a lot of things, like the digital revolution is because of quantum physics. But, are we flying? No. Are we, I mean, do we have wings? No. Have we mutated? No. So in that sense, probably it's going to be another revolution which solved a lot of human problems, and probably we may be just going in the moon and kind of like that, but nothing more than that. So in a way, it would definitely solve a lot of problems. It makes communication easier, but probably not more than that, in my opinion. Do you ever doubt yourself? Absolutely. It is a cornerstone of myself, is doubting that, am I really, why should I do it? And do I have the required thing? Can I build it quickly, or am I too kind of, too much I don't have the necessary background to do it, or it would take me too long. So it's kind of doubting is, for me, I use it as also a way of like checking myself, just exactly like whether I should walk on the direction I'm walking or should I change. So that's kind of the, definitely I doubt. Like, what is the major contribution that you see Africa making to the rest of the world? I mean, just being Africa by itself is, I think, a major contribution. Just being another Europe is not a contribution for me. So having its own tune, Africa having its own kind of real philosophy and meaning, and leading a type of, you know, kind of civilization that is gonna come. I think that's where I would say Africa's. So it's kind of the confidence in its own way of life, but actually making it them better and progressing in that way is what I would really consider Africa's contribution to the rest of the world, because I don't think repetition helps. And Stephanie, what do you want to be remembered for? Again, I'm more like, I mean, I really would like to find, I would say, to identify some major problems or major solutions that would contribute for people to work on and kind of improve, such that, as I exactly related to what Arun's question, that Africa kind of keeps its identity and kind of solves its own kind of the visible problems, because problems sometimes are really opportunities. So I don't want to eliminate them. It's kind of like, but yeah, like something like identifying a problem in a, or like not a problem, it's identifying an opportunity, and which could then lead to some form of revolution or transformation. That would be something I would be be proud of to be remembered. Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kuhlman. I'm reading that book too. Yeah, I think that's really a good book. Prosper and Patrick, who would you consider as a role model? It is. I really like, as one of the main thinking behind one of other project I'm doing, which is Astrobus Ethiopia, is really about role modeling. And one of my role model was my brother, who failed so many times, and is really like Edison. Because we had a very similar attitude and mind, whatever. So his many failures was quite a role model for me, like how to not go around. But even if I had exactly the same ambition and reduction, and Arun knows a lot more, like I'm a lot more only works by emotion. So it's kind of trying to learn from that. But other than that, also I would say the role models that I have are just the usual scientists who sometimes I just connect with them mentally and say like, how can you get to that level? And so that they were driving, and I think there was Ketao Jugu, another scientist from Ethiopia, who had basically, I mean, I don't know anything about him, but I just feel like, that you could, especially when I was doing my PhD and I didn't know whether really I'm going to have a Nobel Prize or not. I was really thinking like, oh wow, like how can you, is there anyone from my background who can do it? And at that time there was one person, just that I thought at least went far ahead. So he was and then on top of that, actually the real models are some of the runners from Ethiopia, like Yabebal and others, who really are for me like a real model. That's really what you say, like what it takes to be just from somewhere in Ethiopia to go and win an Olympic medal. But it takes so much effort, so much exercise, so much confidence. It's like a full, like it's not just only running. It needs a psychological, mental, and other strengths. And really, I would say Yabebal I would mention as one of my role model. And what is your net worth? It's very small, and I think it's potentially a lot, because I can work for any company probably and earn, but that doesn't excite me that much. So my current really was probably, in terms of just what you consider monetary, less than 1 million, let's put it. And Patrick, I like this. Okay, yeah. So I think I answered for you. I think potential, I built, I would say, or for myself, I built a potential, which means that I have connections that could just, without me asking for a job, I could get a job, and I could get a decent job that I could work anytime. So that's why I have this freedom, and I'm not afraid for that, which is really great to have that kind of like freedom. And I never had a boss, and I don't plan to have a boss in that sense, that's what I call potential. What's wrong with you guys? Okay, that's not for me. What do you look up to? Again, I really look up to like upsetting the system, it's like the African system in particular. And I had a lot of good mentors from academia, but I would say a lot more, the mentors I consider now are like people I work with, like just whom I can discuss in long, are all mentors, like including you guys are actually really my mentors. I consider you as a mentor for exactly that, how to not stuck in one way of thinking. And there are a number of thinkings that are coming from you, from Arun, from anyone like I work with, so that really those are my mentors. But I have also other people that I can talk to, but I rarely talk. So I would say like real mentors are the people I work with. Similar fear, I share. Okay, yeah. What is the most important quality you look for in people? Wow, that is, I think, is the ambition, but at the same time, the kind of understanding the difference between that you need to doubts and you need to whatever, but at the same time you need to have the confidence in yourself to go and do something. So it's a lot more this balance between really being confident, but at the same time being humble to know that you know nothing. It's like, so that, and then having the energy to actually keep going. I think that I really find those people quite I like that quality. In summary, what's your 2 years plan? Continuing, I think, making 10 Academy more successful in such a way that I think, enough seed people in data science areas that are thinking not just only in a job and, earning only money. I don't think there's anything will come out from that, but people thinking, just being influenced to really contribute independently, such that it's not highly correlated, but independently everywhere in Africa doing something such that that resonance would create some kind of a movement. That's really one. Contributing to that is my 2 years plan. Which degree do you have? I have a PhD. I've done PhD and I've done, so I've been in academia for a while. So that's one of the reasons. Janet, what turns you off about people? Absolutely this not thinking. Like if people just take whatever is given and just go with it and really are not even open to explore it, I think I am usually turned off by that, because I feel like, okay, sure, life could be easier that way, but we have a problem in Africa that needs more than that. How much do you weigh? I weigh around 65. So for basically the last, as far as I remember in my life, not in my life, since 2004, so now, up to now, it's between 65 and 68. So I somehow just stays there. Where am I? Where is that? Okay, and yeah, Astroverse later. Okay, sure. But I don't know what Astroverse is. More like if it's multiverse and other like parallel universes, they are nice.
I think he meant Astrobus.
Astrobus. Okay, so then in the Astrobus is really bringing role models, but role models in the art, in architecture, in science, in innovation, technology. Bring everyone and bring them to where people live. That means like in rural areas in Africa. So just go there, meet them, shake hands, and have a direct, instead of an indirect conversation with the real people, really get them like direct conversation. Because I feel like if anyone has, like, if you have a mathematician brother or an artist brother, sister, or an engineer sister, then you have a much different understanding of these things than knowing about engineering, right? So for me, I like for people to really feel like especially very aspiring people working in their field very good. When they meet the actual kids, the kids definitely will then think like, okay, it's no more a secondary thing. Mathematics is they made mathematician, they made physicists, they made engineer, they made architect, they made artists, they made musicians, they made so we bring everybody basically, from everybody which we consider abstract thinking, or people who think abstractly, which includes every social, natural sciences, into just basically the people. So that's what Astrobus is. So we travel by bus across Ethiopia most of the time, once in a year, sorry, just that. Okay. Do you regret not getting married? It is one of the things that you really don't know until you, I'm not that old enough to regret yet, but I'm sure it will bite at some point. Hopefully I will get married before that, and then regret only just, I don't know. I have no idea. I think not yet. I feel like it's okay.
I think you should ask Aaron.
I
think you should ask Aaron.
I think that doesn't help. I think the people that I know who hasn't got married, you have to find some kind of tune for that. Some kind of storyline. But for now, I think I'm fine. I have a girlfriend. We probably will get married, but it's just that I didn't know why I should get married. I didn't have it inside me, so it's like, okay, like now we think like, oh, coronavirus is a good reason, because then in Ethiopia, marriage means celebration. Celebration means like, oh, we can use it as a way of like bringing everyone. So then it makes sense for me. Like that kind of story can make sense. So I might just then, when the coronavirus ends, I'm like, can use my wedding probably as a way of like bringing people together. So that makes sense to me. So maybe. And okay, how do you
Arun, do you have anything to say?
It's his session. I won't add.
I think you have something to say.
No, please go ahead. I have nothing to add.
So it can get you offline. And another one maybe. So how do you deal with failures? Wow. So just the simplest thing is that I'm not saying like, oh, I love failures, whatever. It's just disappointing, but I have a very short memory for that. I just kind of like normalize them, and maybe for a day or two you feel bad, and then you go on. So I have a really tolerance, but I like computer errors. So if that is because just I feel like, oh, if there's an error, then I definitely can solve it. So any feedback on my failure, definitely I like it. So that means that's why I don't mind at all failures that have feedback. Failures without feedback, usually they make me a little bit like down, but I have, as I said, short memory, so that's kind of yeah. Ada is right, Strobus. I would like to learn more about this. Okay, is PhD worth it? Absolutely. It for me was important because I'm slow. I insist, and I'm very much like I don't let go problems. So PhD was worth it to know how to go around this and kind of, get to the bottom. So if you are fast and you really can understand things easily, I think PhD may not worth it. But really, if you are insisting to understand foundations of things, like whatever you do, if you are interested in their foundation, I think PhD might show you a way how to get there. So I think it was worth it for me. Your hobbies, I definitely love dancing. So I dance. Whatever I do, just the only thing that makes sense to me are just, okay, if I move my body or there's tune, and so I dance salsa, tango, blah, blah. All of them I tried. I'm not good at them in general, but I dance almost many dances that I can think of.
So Lawal,
yeah.
Lawal, is there
Yeah, I'm here.
I can only shake my shoulder now if you open, and I don't have the video also because I'm using my phone. But definitely, if you want, when I am in another place, just I can do, like if you can play, I will just dance. I don't mind. I actually, whatever causes me to dance, I'm fine. I will dance it, even on in a wind and a tree just making a sound, I can dance. And
well noted.
yeah. So
Yeah.
and you
We'll
have.
get to another day.
I'm okay. Yeah, definitely. If you mirror me, I think I really feel sometimes. So the superpowers for me are like, it's such, humans have a huge untapped property. Like even if you are kind of concentrating the things you get, even when you are like trying to dance, the kind of like, just how you move your body with just your mind is really for me what convinced me that superpowers are all about this kind of understanding yourself a lot better than more. And I think then of course there is, you can argument yourself to have more superpower, but I think there's a lot more untapped thing. That's why, yeah, great that you mirrored. What's your partner in 10 Academy more?
Yavi, I think he skipped one important question.
What was that? What do you like most about Arun? Do I like anything?
The fact that he's more handsome than you, I know it puts you off. That's just how it
Okay,
is. Sorry.
so I mean, I can tell you, like
we have to do a poll.
Arun, the first time I know Arun was when in 2015-16 he was organizing the first African gathering, scientific gathering, which was called Next Einstein Forum, which was really the biggest, one of the biggest thing. If you can just research about that. And it was not his fault, but they contacted me to apply because they told they loved my life. Like, yeah, after some kind of interview, they just thought like, okay, the time is over, but then you please just apply so that we can get you into this fellowship. Like there is a NAVE fellow, and I applied, and then great, they accepted me, whatever. And then not only that, I was at that time living in Rome. They even sent a film crew, a video crew from South Africa to record me and do all sorts of video. And I became the face of even that NAVE, right? This is the Next Einstein Forum. And then they invited me, whatever. And then when I arrived there, Arun was the organizer, I tell you, that they basically didn't even talk to me, more or less. Like, and I was really, I mean, it's fine. Just one thing is like, yeah, I understand. But the thing is, just not having explanation was really it's kind of, it's just another story that I get disappointed. But Arun, after a while, I think we didn't know that much before that. But after a while, I think he called me and apologized. And that was really one of the things that, I mean, on behalf of, I think he quit even after that, but even it's after that. But it was really a sign that I really appreciated, just that it's not even he didn't need to because he's no more associated with that, whatever, but it was kind of a quality that I really liked. And on top of that, also, like the things that he managed to bring together was really huge. And so I think like anyone, I trusted his, basically, like if he sets his mind, all of us, me, for example, I don't have that ability. I may plan something, but it's only for plan. But with Arun, working with him, if you plan together and if he's convinced, you will do it. And he will force you to do it, or he will do it even if you quit. So that kind of quality is absolutely what I don't have. And I think I would say of all the people that I met in my life, I would say I can trust that with Arun. And so whatever project, whatever ambition, he will not get in if he thinks we are not going to do it. But if he believes in it, I will also believe in it, just directly. So that's a quality that...
It's because of the hot coffee.
Yeah, because of the hot coffee. No way. That is not the case. I think I would say because of your height. Just, you can see bigger picture. Okay, let's put it that way. So yeah, I think let's have another vote for that. Who's handsome? I think that's kind of like, just because you are always on, your video is on, doesn't really necessarily disqualify me from the competition, I hope. So that one, I need another, some other voting for that.
We'll get Binyam's photographer to take
exactly, and then we have to put our own pictures. Exactly, we have to choose one picture or two pictures and put it for competition. Who's more handsome?
Let me do the Binyam pose.
Exactly. Okay, so astrology. Okay, so just stop me, Arun, if when time is...
that we ended the question, so you can get through the question.
Okay,
no,
so okay, so Astrology is, you know, the old astronomy, but at that time it was more about, actually they were machine learners, right? But it's kind of, instead of machine learners, they were star learners or physical learners, right? So we're trying to use the data generated from humans to attribute to humans other property. So for example, their writing to their psychology, right? Or their picture to their age. So that's how you relate. Like, so you kind of assume there is information encoded in some data, and then you try to extract that information and tell about the story with that. Astrologists were doing, they didn't have machines to do that, so they basically get data from everything, including stars, their alignment, whatever, and try to tell about future, doing predictive analysis with physical data, that is stars, their alignment, whatever. And you know it by now, they are outdated and it just doesn't work. There's too much complication for humans than that. So yeah, they were just the precursors of AI, machine learning, let's say. No, I dance every day. So it's again Lawal. I dance more or less everywhere. I mean, in Munich, I will go, I don't know, whenever I want to change from work something, I will just go dancing. So that's the case. The rationale behind Astrobus Ethiopia is really all about having a project that I feel, okay, what can I do to change it? Like, how can you seed some kind of chain reaction? That means, like, how can I fix my own childhood? In my childhood, I got here because of chance, pure chance, nothing more. I was not that clever, whatever, but just suddenly I couldn't sleep. Therefore, that's why I get. And I want that to be not pure chance, but really assisted, like in a sense that actually designed. And so one of the things that I feel is that you should connect and make people early on kind of be proud, exactly like what we do here, but also just like let them know people that will be on a TV, say, such that when they see that person on a TV, they say like, oh, no, I know him actually, I shake his hand or her hand. And then that way they will really feel when they grow up, they can talk about that story again and again, which becomes like, which guides them because they belong into that group, the kind of the group who do something, right? So that is really the rationale behind. What does your name mean? It's called blossom. Yabebal is basically is mabeb, so it's just as a verb to say a blossom or blossoming. So can you do the shoulder dance? Absolutely, I love that. So I would definitely, we can compete, me and Binyam, probably others, including you, Awal, we could do. Why do you like using your sister or mom in your data science age probability examples? Oh, it's I mean, I would say one of the characteristics of every African or Indian probably, or people with more connection to their families, that their mom is just everything, right? So I think the first thing that comes to my head, if I think another person, probably is my mom, and then after that is probably my sister, just because whatever. But yeah, maybe it's just my mom is almost always my example, but I never knew even I was doing that. But probably that. What kind of partner are you looking for to marry? I mean, I have a girlfriend. I think just a partner that doesn't kill you is enough for me, or that you can just stay for a long time. And I think that is, I am kind of fine with that. What's your eye problem? Oh, that is like my eye, my right eye. When I was 3 years old, I had a glass that flied and got into me. So then it no more works. Like basically now in particular doesn't work, but it kind of sees something. So it's kind of like, can call it a reduction. It's kind of a smoothing operator. So there is in front of my eyes smoothing operator with 1 degree, in such a way that if I just close my left eye, I can really see, I can disentangle colors, which is really a good way to look at the world sometimes, and nothing, no structure. And so that's the reason, but I think it never affected me other than that. If you are given an opportunity to make a policy that would improve the current state of Africa in general in the Committee of Nations, what would it be based on the exposure you have? I think my exposure really told me that there is no one single issue in Africa. It is a very complicated. It's just when you don't have educated people, or by educated I mean people with variety of exposure and with no coherence, and that there are other people working against you. You're competing actually not with the people, but with the people that are competing with you. So if someone wants to have power, they will probably work tirelessly day and night to distort ideas, and you really have to fight back, right? So there is so much, like it is not a policy, it is not a policy issue Africa has. I mean, definitely, but it's an action. It's like people like us has to, basically you need to produce a lot more seed people with like doing something with ability to actually start really changing. So for example, let's say fake news, like that's a huge problem in many African countries. But if you want to really solve that problem, it's not policy. It's about you need people skilled implementing different sort of solutions such that basically no more a problem, right? So that basically means what we really are lacking is people with ability and skill to do something. And I would say anything, including Astrobas, why I believe in it, is just trying to increase the number to make it enough. Not just 100 is not enough. 1,000 is probably not enough. You have to get to like a really big number such that if one doesn't do it, the other one will do it. If one is interested in one, the other one will be interested. So there will be abundance of skill and knowledge that would address the problem. So that would be, I will be working still in the same thing that I'm doing now, which is Astroba. So I don't think it's just one policy. Hopefully that may not satisfy you, Lawal, but that may answer you. Okay, so as an astrophysicist, what phenomena in outer space excite you the most? Yeah, that is, I really love the universe in the sense that because it is huge, and I worked a lot more on Big Bang, you know, what happened in the Big Bang, and it's such, I mean, I can talk days on that. It's like, it's fascinating how we learn about it. So in particular, what I was working was the cosmic microwave background, which means the light that propagates from Big Bang to us, and how that signal
Yabebal, we lost you.
yeah, I just back. I think somehow my internet got disconnected. So do you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I don't have any more. I have the questions, but that one is really like this. You know, just how a single map contains so much about the universe, including its formation, its expansion, its everything, and that is really what excites me. I think if you want, I can talk about that along. So I'll just stop it there. And where was I? Okay, and then Biniam, are you satisfied with your job life? It's not making the, you know, I am really interested on what I'm doing daily, and that's why I work probably sometimes 20 hours more. I mean not 20 hours, but like I would say 15 hours more, and I don't mind, even if I don't have to sometimes, but I really love it, just what I'm doing. So okay, and what's your favorite meal? Poof. Right now I'm in Italy, and really my favorite one is just simple mozzarella di bufalo with oil. Just, I think the simpler the food is, the better I have, but it changes wherever I am. So when I'm in Ethiopia, definitely I like kulait, which is just before you add anything, just the very small, the early part of any of Ethiopian dishes. It's like chicken and berbere, and that's it. Simple. The simplest it is, the better I like. Absolutely, Gerald. I do. Okay, and okay. So, would you call yourself an influencer? I wish. If I influenced you, I can call myself. If I don't, probably I won't, because I don't know anyone that. I mean, I did probably influence my family. So yeah, why not? I'm an influencer. But if I influence you, I definitely can add that one. I would say that I'm an influencer, but I don't know. I haven't measured it. What is Lawal's question? I don't know which one that I didn't answer. So I think so. Why are you so? I don't know which one. So the dancers. Okay, yeah, great. Thank the okay.
Yeah, you've answered my questions, everything.
Great. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that means I answered everything.
There's just one left from Emmanuel, but do you believe in God?
Oh, do I believe in God? I mean, I earlier I alluded to, I don't know any one thing that I would say that exists or that is right. I think I don't deny anything, and there's no enough. Not only it's not evidence, this thing, even feeling. If I am honest to myself, I don't see anything. I don't see anything that I understand. So which means neither I believe nor I deny, and it doesn't also make me the kind of like, I don't also, I like the power, like I like that there is much more than what we are, the physical reality. So that also makes me, so that I would call myself a spiritual in that sense, that there is a lot more we don't understand about the universe, the world, the humans, and so there is a lot more opportunity for that to do in life. So I think, yeah, I am spiritual more than, but I don't have any single thing that I would say, oh, that is me, or I know that exists, or I know whatever. So I don't have that. So in that sense, I think there is much more about humans than just the physical reality, and that's what I believe in. And yeah, so
super. All right, guys. I think we should, for
not
time, we should wrap
agnostic,
up.
just given. I'm not agnostic. I think I really believe that there's much more, but I don't know what to call that. But not the stories that are written anywhere doesn't satisfy me. So that's just why I don't call agnostic, but the spiritual. Okay, great.
Patrick, what's your last question that hasn't been answered? I think all the questions have been answered. Anyways, Yabebal is around. I mean, he's not disappearing.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. I think just next week's also you can ask me just and we can talk even just in more detail in some, especially if astrophysics related or something astrobas. I can definitely will be happy to answer some questions. So it's fine. Also books. I will just. I mean, I will close now and I will just go. But yeah, there are some books I would recommend. So I will just write it in Slack.
All right, everyone. Super. Thank you. We'll start the careers chat. I'm going to drop off for 2 minutes and I'll be back, and then we can just continue with the careers chat. Thanks, everyone. It's fascinating to get to know.
Great. Okay.
We'll do the glamour shooting next time we
yes, exactly. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye.